How's it going? How do you like this backlighting? I don't think I've had this much backlighting ever. Anyways, today we're comparing the Amaran PT4C, Amaran's new pixel tube light, versus the original, if you will, Astera pixel tube. And just for fun, let's get a point system going. The categories are as follows: price, form factor, control, brightness and light quality, accessories, and battery life. Let's dive in. First things first, let's talk about price. The Amaran costs $429 versus the Astera, which costs $450 for what they call a basic kit, which essentially includes everything that the Amaran comes with, except for a case. And as someone who has had to lug around this abomination, I have to say a case is very welcome. So not only is it cheaper, but it also comes with a case. The point goes to Amaran. Next up, let's talk form factor. The Amaran comes in 3 different sizes: 1 foot, 2 feet, and 4 feet. The one I have here is the 4-foot one, which is also the one that is most similar to the Astera pixel tube. The Amaran pixel tube has some angles on the opposite side of where the light is facing, which allows you to put the light on a flat surface and angle it in 3 different positions. The Astera pixel tube, on the other hand, is rounded the entire way around, so if you do want to put it on a flat surface, you'll have to tape it. One more point before I put these back is the position of the power socket. So the Amaran pixel tube is on the back, which is fantastic because the Astera pixel tube, I don't know who decided this, but it's on the top of the light. And I say the top because you can't really put these feet on this side. I mean, I guess you can, they have the screw in there, but then you would cover the power supply, and also this thing would be, you just can't, you can't put the feet on this side. On top of that, if I were to plug this light in for multiple hours, let's say I want it to be in a shot for a music video, it's in the shot, I plug it in and I can see a little bit of cable hanging off the top. And on top of that, I then need to tape it on the back so it doesn't like do the whole cable thing. It's just annoying. It doesn't really make sense from a design point of view. So for those 2 reasons, this point also goes to Amaran. Up next, let's talk about control. So I've had this Astera pixel tube for about 3 years now, and what I use it primarily for are music videos, interviews, and short films. Unfortunately, in order to use this piece of equipment properly, you need to buy another piece of equipment called the Astera CRMX transmitter. It makes sense from a DMX perspective, for light shows, but the fact that you can't control the parameters on this light on the back of the light or with an app is really a downside. By contrast, the Amaran does have a very user-friendly interface right on the back of the light, and you can connect to it with the app, the Sidus Link or Sidus Link app. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. By the way, you can control the Amaran lights with DMX as well, but it's wired. So I guess if what you want to do with these lights is live shows, then the Astera makes a lot of sense. You'll have to buy the additional piece of equipment, but if you're working with multiple lights, the wireless definitely makes up for it. However, if you're more like me and you just want a nice tube light that looks good on camera and is easy to position for different videos, then the Amaran is the light for you. For me, this is what I need, and so the point goes to Amaran. Next, let's talk brightness and light quality. Now on screen, you're seeing a video of me being lit by the Astera at 100% brightness. And here are the camera's parameters. Now let's change over to the Amaran at 100% in the exact same position. So no question, the Amaran is a little bit brighter. It's also bigger, so that's not really a surprise. But let's talk light quality. Here's a gray card. Let's check the results in DaVinci. I think John forgot that I'm actually editing this video in Premiere, so these are the results. So if I just look at the footage, it looks nearly identical, to be honest. Now, if I actually use the white balance and try to see what the difference is, so the Amaran light is saying -4 tint. Let's see what the result is for the Astera, -6.3. But it also sort of depends on where I click on the card. So let me reset over here. I'm gonna do the Amaran again, -6.1, and I'm gonna do the Astera, -4. So as far as light quality is concerned, they're nearly identical. The difference is negligible, but the Amaran is just a little bit brighter. So let's call it a half point to Amaran. Does that sound fair? All right, let me just put you back into the video over here. Have fun. Whoa. What just happened? Accessories. Yeah, we're talking about accessories, right? So the lights both come with pretty much the same accessories, which is a power supply, a tripod, a little clamp, and one of these things to hang the lights. I guess the Amaran also comes with that DMX cable, which the Astera you wouldn't need if you had the transmitter. So first things first, this thing that you can screw onto the top of the light and hang it from different positions. I've lost the one that came with my Astera tube because I don't have a case, but it's pretty much the same. This one does feel pretty sturdy though, but they're nearly identical. The tripod, I have to say the Amaran tripod feels very nice. The one thing I don't like is that it closes on its own. Oh, this one doesn't, but this one does. That's weird. The Amaran tripod feels very nice. I'm not really sure what's wrong with these. This one is very sturdy, and you see if I shake it, like it stays open. This one closes. Not really sure what's up with that. Maybe it's loose or something. I'll use this one for reference. It feels really nice and it stands straight up, which I can't really say for the Astera Pixel Tube. That being said, I do think that the Astera Pixel Tube, it is a benefit because the way it works is it's sort of at an angle, so you can turn the base and have it, if you see what I'm saying, you can sort of position it slightly differently in case the floor isn't straight. So it is pretty smartly designed, and it does collapse like this. It collapses on the side instead of down. Another thing I find beneficial is that you can spin the light when it's on the tripod, which is, you know, the whole thing that I mentioned earlier, that you can spin the base in order to adjust. The Amaran is fixed in position, so in order to turn it, you just have to move the entire light. Again, these are pretty minimal differences. I'm gonna move the lights away, but you see? Like, that was super easy. So as far as the stands go, they're both pretty good, but let's talk about this. Now, the Astera clamp is much better. I'm just gonna say it outright. First of all, on its own, it clamps really tightly. Like, I would feel confident simply, let me just roll it down. I would feel confident simply mounting it like this, and like I'm losing my grip before it's gonna, you see? Very, very tightly. But on top of that, there's a safety on the light. So originally this came with something that Astera calls the R pin. I'll put it on screen right now. It essentially looks like a hairpin. You clamp it onto the light, and then I've just been using one of these because I've lost the original R pin. It's a hairpin essentially. You can use a hairpin. This clamp, on the other hand, like now there's feet on this side, and so it's not very stable, but it's in the middle of the light right now, right? I'm gonna try to protect it. I'm gonna let go, okay? You see? It just really does not compare to the Astera clamp. One thing I forgot to mention is you can't actually use the Astera clamps on the Amaran light. The Amaran light is just a little bit thinner than the Astera, and so it doesn't actually get a good grasp. All right. We have one more thing to talk about in this category, and that's the power supply. The Amaran power supply is USB-C, which is fantastic. The Astera power supply is like your standard DC in, this little circular one, which is also great because those are everywhere. The only thing is that the output of this is 48 volts, 0.5 amps, which is not that common. It's not like your regular 9-volt adapter. And since I purchased this light originally, I did lose the power supply because I don't have a case. And so I had to buy another one of these, and so that was a little bit annoying. The Amaran light, on the other hand, the USB-C, I can charge even with my laptop charger. Obviously that is a huge benefit. So tripod legs, I'm gonna call that a tie. They're both pretty good. Clamps, I'm gonna give the point to Astera. And power supplies, USB-C, I'm gonna give the point to Amaran. So let's call this category a tie. 1 point to both of them. Last thing to talk about is battery life. So I left both of these lights on one evening, hit record on my camera, and these are the results. The Amaran Pixel Tube lasted 2 hours and 49 minutes, and the Astera Pixel Tube lasted 3 hours and 32 minutes. Granted, the Amaran is a brighter and it's also a larger light, but since brightness was a category in and of itself, I'm gonna give the points to Astera. So here are the final results. What I really appreciate from the team at Amaran is you can tell that they studied the Astera Pixel Tube and they made small developments in order to improve the product, whether that is from the location of the power supply to the angles on the ends of the light so that you can position it better. In any case, for my needs, Amaran is definitely the way to go. If what you do is more light shows, then I'm pretty sure the Astera is preferable to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way to the end, a like and subscribe will go a very long way, and if you do subscribe, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!